Alright, what's up, y'all? Ford Thurston here. We're doing part 2 Rocktails, second episode. Me and a family member, nephew. We are, say hello. It's a rock star. If you're watching Netflix and Hulu and all this stuff and you watch documentaries, this is the guy doing all of your post-production for all your audio and all this wonderful stuff. When you hear a car go wing, fly by, that's the guy who makes the car really to come close to you. You know what I'm saying? You did Shaquille O'Neal, Conor McGregor, all that kind of. He's the last one was really big. Which one was that?
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Simone
He
Biles.
did the Bon Jovi one, which was really cool. That's a whole nother Rocktail story, which I will tell you. I have a good Bon Jovi story. But this one, we're cruising in the car. And by the way, Avis gave us a car that has a worn out right tire to where the tire is dry rotted and the steel belt is coming through the outside of the tire from it being out of balance, which I believe is the toe adjustment. The wiper blades are falling apart and the air conditioning doesn't work. And who's ever seen a rental car with 80,000 miles? I sure the hell haven't. Have you? No. What is this? Sanford and Son? So he was listening to some Pantera. He's a sucker for some heavy shit. So we're listening down on it, and I thought that's a really good Rocktail that I have. Go back to 1991. I'm playing in a band called Shake Rag. We were a soul band, and we all wore like bell bottoms, and we had a guy that was with the Memphis Horns, played saxophone. We had 2 girl background singers, and we did like our own takes and would like Temptation songs and whatnot, and it was a really, really cool band. So we were playing in Pittsburgh on a very snowy night, and because it was so snowy, not that many people were there. Well, there was these crew of people that came in, and they were really rowdy. They had long hair, and I was like, shit. They're sitting in front of the stage like Indian style. This guy's like totally like up my ass while I'm playing guitar. He's like, yeah, and I'm playing like my version of Little Wing. And in that band, I used to play a Strat, and I'd use a super reverb, dimed. And he was like, we took a set break. We do like 2 shows. He's like, dude, you're amazing, man. What's up? And I was like kind of freaked out by this guy. And I'm like, what's your name? He goes, my name's Dimebag Darrell. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what's up? He goes, I'm in a band called Pantera. Now, there was a band in Pittsburgh, I believe, prior to that years earlier. And I thought they were Pantera, so I'm thinking this guy's in some Pittsburgh band and so on, so I didn't really think much of it. And he had his brother with him, and kind of to move along here, they were really cool and very nice. And at the end, I said, so what are you doing? They said, oh, we're out opening for Skid Row. They were on the Skid Row tour in 1991. So I was like, oh, these guys must be somebody good. So they get in a fight. They get all drunk. Can you imagine Pantera getting drunk? So they do. And they get kicked out. And I don't hear from him. He took my phone number. And then I had an answering machine, and I come home. I lived in this little house in Pittsburgh. And I check my messages on my phone, and it's beep. Hey, man, it's Dimebag Darrell. I'm playing at this place called Metropole, downtown Smallman Street. If you're around, come down. I'll buy you dinner, lunch, or whatever. So I'm like, hell with it. So I get in my little shitty car, and I go down there. And there he is. And he takes me, and we get lunch. And then he's like, hey, man, why don't you come to sound check? And I walk in, and he's got like 4 Randall stacks and his blue guitar, the Dean. I have no idea who these guys are, because I'm listening to like R&B music and blues and shit. And he turns on, he starts playing, and I'm like immediately like, oh, this guy's real thing. This is a real thing. He goes, go out to the front house where the front house mixer guy was, and they're ready to go, and the singer comes out, that Phil, right? Yeah. Is his name Phil? They all come out, and they look like they would kick Motley Crue's ass. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what this is. I go out there, and I'm standing there, and they count off the first song. I thought that the concrete floor in front of the stage opened up, and hell released, and Satan came up and was trying to grab me because it was so fucking heavy. I was scared to death. I no longer needed to use Metamucil. You know what I'm saying? It was like, holy shit. It freaked. I had never seen. I mean, that's the beginning of really, really heavy, like the emergence of, we're going past Metallica, we're doing this, and we're going into a whole nother area. At least for me, you know, I was just never I mean, I love Black Sabbath and stuff like that, but I don't even think that that's really heavy. I think that's just kind of, so it freaked me out, right? So I go over there, he's done, and he's like, so what'd you think? And I'm like, I looked at him and I instantly knew that I had missed the whole thing, that I didn't realize that I was looking at the next thing. Like, I did not know, but I knew then, and I was like, holy shit. And I got in my car and I went home. I never heard from him again until the last thing I checked is when he got shot and killed by that crazy person in Columbus. But you never know who you're playing for. You never know who's on the end of the line. You don't know who the guy's bagging your groceries in Nashville. He's like, paper, plastic, or should I melt your face off with my Telecaster? You have no idea what you're talking to in life. But that's number 2. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so below. Say hello and goodbye to the world's greatest documentary mixer. Your documentary man. Documentary man. All right, love y'all. Take care.